conscious of what you are, then you're going to feel the difference between that has a smell, taste, feeling of my ego. That has a smell, taste, feeling of my soul. That has a smell, taste, or feeling of divinity. It came from a God or the Supreme Lord or whatever. That has a smell of outside consciousness. So it might be coming from there. It's through experience that you're going to feel this is chocolate, this is strawberry, by experimenting. Okay? Because there's no way for me to explain the difference. It's impossible for me to tell you. How can you tell it comes from your mind or from outside there? Until you get used to the different flavors of consciousness. Okay? So someone is an amateur of chocolate, will taste 15 different chocolates, will know the difference in between each of them. For the newbie, it's like maybe only 3 categories of chocolate. They won't see the difference. Okay? The beer lover can identify 150 different types of beers, will know which name, which taste, and everything. But the amateur will just say, well, there's a beer I like and the beer I don't like. Okay? So you practice. Integration will give you the information of what is your ego. And you'll feel that. But just knowing that is not enough. Experimenting outside consciousness, other power, other influence, you'll start to get it. It will start to make sense. This really feels, it has a taste of outside. It has a taste of my mind. It has a taste of, I have an issue there I have to resolve. Okay? So you do it by experience. There's no other way. But after only a little while, it's not too long, only a few experiences, you can feel your own chi, your own energy. Yeah? And when we did the chi exchange yesterday, you felt it was outside energy. It was chi. It was the same chi, but you knew it was not your taint. You understand that? There's this slight feeling that, I feel this energy, and there's a very slight difference between what I feel when it's my chi that I am in tune in, and another chi that is slightly different. It still is life substance. It still is consciousness at this vital plane. Alright? So this is just the first experiments. We'll get through this awareness. Okay. Now, next part. How does the information here tap into our system? First of all, the more physical or dense you want to perceive, the harder it is to manage the information through your mind. Physically seeing somewhere else is the hardest thing. But perceiving the vital trace is a bit easier. The easiest is the emotional traces. Perceiving the emotional trace of an object is the easiest because our mind is made of emotion and intellect. Okay, its mind is one big range of all that goes on in here, inside. Okay, all the psychology aspect. Okay, so getting mind-type information from an object or an area is the easiest because the mind tunes into that. Then getting soul information through our human mind starts to become difficult to get because it is further away. Getting supernature, almost divine-like energy or information is close to almost impossible, the same as displacing your point of view, your physical point of view in another room. But this can be done. You believe you see from here only because you are used to always perceiving from behind your 2 eyes because you've always been that. This is a natural force. But that's not real. You can start perceiving from another point of view. There's no problem. With consciousness, there's no limit to that. It's only from the human that says, well, I have to perceive through my mind to behind my eyes because this is where the light comes from. Well, just pick the light that comes from over there. But you do have to interact with physical type consciousness and light, that is almost energy also. Get it through your mind and back into your cortex, your perception area. Okay? So that's a challenge, but it can be made. Okay? The easiest thing is from mind to mind. That's the easiest one. That's also the one that is most disturbed by your human. The most tainted and altered. Okay, so it's very easy to develop and so easy to just transform and modulate that, okay, how could I be more certain? The second one is the interface between mind and sight is imagination. Okay, the place where you can conceive in your mind visual information. Okay, it's not just visual information, it's sense information, because when you dream, all your senses are implicated in the dream. It's your nervous system perceives what the mind fabulates. It's in its fantasy. Okay. Get this? Yeah.
What about people who leave their body and have an experience and then come back, but they're still perceiving?
Yeah. There's a misconception about leaving your body. Okay? It's displacing your point of view. Because you have one body. Okay? You cannot have the astral body, which is the emotional body, the emotional and partly the mind body, leave the rest of the unified body like if it was a component, separate component, and travel around. Okay? It is one single body, but your consciousness modulates in a non-separate manner, meaning that you can exist here emotionally and there in every other aspects. You can do that. But you're not separate. You don't go out of your body. Okay? You just move your point of view and your conscious reference of self at another place than you're used to in your physical body. In your physical, you're used to just, I'm here. I cannot be there because I'm here. Conditioned. But if you go to sleep, your body forgets it's holding its position, so you can start behaving and displacing your consciousness reference, your individuality reference as somewhere else. Does it make sense? Okay? And this being, you can consciously exist in many places, and we do this through transmigration of consciousness. Okay? Those who experience transmigration, we're going to do it later. You can physically exist at one position and consciously be inhabiting another person's body, which is cool. But the other person will feel its body here, but another presence inside, without leaving its own body. Okay? Because it doesn't believe in separation. So two people can be in a single body, and there's still room for more. Right? No, it's not taking space. It's not physical. It's not taking place. It's just compacting more information of consciousness at the emotional mental level. Okay? Then you come back to yourself. You come back to your presence in your own body, and the other person feels, this alien presence left. Okay? So this will also train you in understanding, getting the difference of what is your mind state, your mind flavor, and some other mind flavor will start to inhabit you in a conscious way. And you'll know, oh, this is not me inside me. I feel another energy there. And then it goes away. Okay? Yeah?
When you do that, when you displace your consciousness in someone else, when you do that, is your flavor or that person's flavor tainted by...
Yes. Yes. Consciousness naturally self-radiates itself always. We're always somewhat radiating at an extent. So if you displace yourself in an area, your presence will be felt. The same way that a freshly deceased person, the ghost is very emotionally dense still, and will be felt like if it was really here, if it is, and you'll feel it. And if it's in a state of despair because it's dead and it just found out, you're going to feel this state of ooh.